I see these guys run across, armed dudes. And I get the heads up to my crew. Next thing you know, I find myself in a gunfight. And I'm on the left side of this window, and I'm engaging these two dudes with guns. They're shooting at us. And then we're just getting fucked up with machine gun fire. Like, it's just spraying down, like, to the point where, like, we're not even engaging the window anymore. We're just going to eat it. So we're backed off in the window, waiting to hear gaps and lulls in the fire so we can pop back out and engage. And how we started doing it was the radio operator, he would go shoot, and when he would go dry, that's when I would come in. We were playing that whole tag you're it game. Meanwhile, the two snipers in my team, they're in the prone position on the ground, because when we're not actively engaging, very accurate sporadic fire is coming through our window, and it's like literally just like mowing on top of us. So if you stick your head up, you're done. And these guys are just like, oh shit, did you guys get them? Like they're kind of like laughing. They're like, fuck, they've been here, done that. They've been to the invasion of Iraq. They were in one of them was in Somalia, but it was real. It was a real deal. It was really happening, and we were not participating. We were it. And I remember going back behind the window. I reload another magazine, and as soon as I pop out to shoot, it all goes black. And I remember this, this like profound exhale that came out of me, and I ended up on the ground. And that's when I had this out-of-body experience. At the time, I had no idea what happened. I thought I was dead. I could see, if you ever play a game or if you ever seen a game where there's like a glitch where you can kind of see like a top-down view, I saw this top-down view of what was going on. I could see the fighters across the street. I could see my body. I could see my point man still shooting. I could see my other teammates on the ground. Like, what the fuck's going on? I just saw
You had a fucking out-of-body experience in the middle of combat?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. And what happened was I see this fucking light. I see all these things going on. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dead. And I just get sucked back into this life. And then I snap, and I'm in this fetal position. My body went to this fetal position. And I start to move. And I didn't know if I was convulsing or if it was from my friend kicking me. He's kicking me with his foot. He's in the prone position. Just, hey, wake up. They're like, dude, we thought you were dead. We didn't see any blood. I'm like, what happened? I'm like crying and laughing at the same time. I have no idea what's going on. I got shot right in the helmet. And I didn't know this. And I'm completely out of it. Well, my body was down, fell at the radio, near the radio. They're like, get on the radio and call in support. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's going on? You know, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. And they're like, get on the fucking radio and call for support. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I pick up this fucking handset. And I give like the worst radio transmissions ever. Every other word was break. Warhammer break. This is break. Grim Reaper break. We need break. I'm fucking out of it. And I get it out. I muster it out. I would call them like, hey, here's our fucking location. This is what's going on. And I'm getting broken comm. And we're still under fucking fire, under attack. And so my team was like, we got to get out of here. So we pack up the radio and we work our way downstairs. And I find myself with a radio operator holding, basically being a shield for him so he can set up the antenna, get communication, and we can get fucking contact. Because we're like, dude, shit's about to get real. And my team leader and my assistant team leader, they're cradling their sniper rifle and they got their pistol out. And I can see kind of the doorway of the building we're in, and then I see this window right in front of me as I'm like peeking out of this bathroom. And it's a very tall window, and I see this head, the top of this head, walk by. I see this turban and everything walk by. I'm like, fuck. Because this is the real fucking thing. So I'm like, fucking tell everyone, shut the fuck up. There's people coming. So my guy stops on the radio communication because it's loud as fuck. We didn't have the best radios and antennas back there, and we're in a concrete building We're not in a favorable position to achieve communication superiority. And we're somewhat locked down, so we're not even in a true defensive posture. We're almost just waiting for it. And I see this shadow get bigger and bigger into this room. I couldn't see anymore because I wasn't peeking out anymore, but I just saw this shadow figure get bigger and bigger and bigger until this fucking man's face, this adult face, crests the corner, and I just jam my fucking gun into his face. He's got no weapon. I fucking hit him. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what the fuck do we do? And they're like, oh, he's trying to come in and fucking look at body counts. You know, he's a fucking spy. He's on the lookout. And I'm like, I'm still like semi-throwing up. I'm dizzy. I don't know what the fuck's going on still. I'm semi-conscious to this, but like, I'm trying to process a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to give that my priority than my own feelings and concerns and thoughts and emotions. One person ends up turning into 7 people. People started to come to our house, no weapons. And we did not know what to do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking kill these people that have no guns. Like, at that point in time, I made that decision. Like, I'm not gonna, anyone can kill. And at a fucking young age, before I really learned what that life was about, they weren't a threat to me. And you can't just, I don't know, at the time I didn't do it. So it is what it was. But we didn't have any stuff to hog tie them. We didn't have anything to secure them. All we had was fucking our weapons drawn at them. And we're like, dude, we are so fucked. We got to get the fuck out of here. Because they make a jump on us, we're done. Yeah, we'll take care of a few, but dude, we're outnumbered. Almost 2-1 at this point. Just males. And it was so random. And instead of them walking by, I'm like ushering them in. I'm grabbing them, forcibly bringing them in, because the last thing I wanted them to do is run away and tell people that these 4 gringos are inside this house and they have no idea what's going on. And my team was like, dude, we gotta make a bail for it. We gotta make a run for this thing. And our only option was to hit the road, skirt the fucking town, and just run until we made contact with friendlies. Because we're still getting fucking shot at. It's not as violent now. It's sporadic at this point. But now we have these guys come in and do quality checks. And we have no idea what they are, what they're about, what they represent, who they work for. It's just a lot of weird things that are happening all at once. And so we work ourselves out of this house, and we just started to bound. And we just kept on bounding until we ran into an infantry squad. And we tell them what's going on. We're like, yo, dude, we're in this building over here. We got in contact from across the street. And they're like, oh yeah, we heard that shit. So we showed up and we just started fucking blasting both buildings. We didn't know anything. I'm like, not really putting 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, oh, y'all are blasting that fucking building too. They're like, oh yeah, we're fucking blasting that building. We're blasting that building. And this is new, you know? They didn't know shit. We didn't know shit until we started to like piecemeal these stories together. At the time while that's taking place, I'm throwing up. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I get a Motrin and a cigarette. And the doc looks me over, does that little eye sensory check, and he's like, okay. TBI wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
No one knew what that shit was. And as we're basically teaming up, sharing stories, they're telling us, oh yeah, so-and-so got shot through and through the ass. Well, little did we know his OIF-1 deployment, he got shot through and through the ass again. So this is now the ass guy. So there's some laughter going on in this like very chaotic place, which is still kindergarten compared to the varsity that Fallujah was truly about. We're like 6-7 hours into the first day in this thing. It's nothing. It's all a cakewalk. And we get tasked that we're like, hey, Delta is doing a mission down the road. We need to go provide sniper support for them. We're providing basically a cordon for them, outer support. And I tell my assistant team leader, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done, bro. He's like, suck it the fuck up. I'm like, roger that. So we go on this like baton death march to link up, to set up this outer cordon. And I am walking left and right. I'm dragging my fucking gun. He's like, pick up your fucking rifle. I'm like, dude, I am fucking trying. I'm toast at this point. hitting all the dopamine, the adrenaline's wearing off, and like I just got shot in the helmet. Hell, I don't even know who I got shot in the helmet by at this point, and I don't feel good. I'm getting to the point where I'm physically incapable of actually performing my job. We set up the railroad tracks, and they're like, "All right, you're good. We're here." And the next thing you know, I passed out. Passed out these railroad tracks. I remember Delta doing their mission. They're like, "Yeah, we're good. We appreciate it." They do their shit, obviously super fast, very calculated, very inspiring. And we're there on, escorted control, providing powder in his life. We're there for a little bit, waiting for the next tasking order. Because now we're probably 7 o'clock in the evening. We haven't accomplished shit. We haven't cleared through anything. We've reacted to stuff. And we come back to where we started at the very beginning of the phase line, and my commander is like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you back." I'm like, "I don't want to fucking go." He's like, "No, you're gonna go back and get checked out." I'm like, "No, I want to stay here with a team." He's like, "Listen, all we're doing is setting up mortars for the night, and then we're all pulling out in the morning. You have my word." I'm like, "Okay." So I go back, I get checked out. Eyes around the camper like this. Because now we're like, wait a second. We heard the stories, we saw the wounds, we hear the fucking explosions. Now we experienced it all. And, half this unit is full of new guys. And even the old guys were like, fuck, this is intense. Even for this entry level stuff that happened, this was nothing. Nothing. This was a drop in the bucket compared to the fucking storm that was coming.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.